Welcome everybody, Shotgun Dave. I'm going to show you guys how to use an RGeo wire bender to make a basic chassis for a slot car. When I say basic chassis, it will be just a basic chassis for now. We'll do another video on how to add to that chassis to make it your own and make it special. But for right now, we're going to show you just how to make the basic box. Now, you're going to need an RGeo wire bender, obviously, and you get those from Slot Car Corner. They're not expensive, about $35. Comes with a few accessories, the actual bender, a couple other little things that bolt to it, but for our uses today, we just need the pins. I'll put a link up, or at least the link to the website for where you can get this from Slot Car Corner. We're also going to need the wire to bend. Today we're using K&S stock number 503. It is 055 music wire, 1.4 millimeter. And I'm using this for this particular chassis just because, first of all, it's easy to bend, but secondly, it's very springy. So you can introduce some suspension type into your chassis if you want. You can go bigger. I don't recommend too much bigger, but for now, this is what we're going to show you. So you will also need the brackets from Slot Car Corner. These are their proprietary made, the guide tongue bracket and the motor bracket. These are 1 inch wide. Their part number is HW1. Again, on Slot Car Corner's website, just look in the scratch building section. They're there, available. Makes your life a lot easier. So we have these pieces, and this is really all we need other than a soldering iron and solder. So we know that these are 1 inch wide or thereabouts. So here we go. We'll measure this. Yeah, 0.985. So we know we need to make a wire hoop 0.985 wide. So this is the main post where you're going to be doing your wire bending. And this is where your wire is going to go. It's going to hold the wire. So we know that we need it to be, there we go. It's 0.96 right there. So it's very tight tolerances, which is good. But for our first bend, we just want to make a simple L. You want to leave a length here because once we bend this, it's going to be at a hoop. One end will be the back and one end will be the front. So leave a little extra length hanging out the end. Place the wire in the bender, flush up against these pins. Now these pins are removable. You can move them around the board. So nice line of pins here just to the left of your post. Then you place your post, or you place your bender on the post and give it a 90-degree bend. Hey, look at that. We grabbed the motor bracket on the way around. How do you like that? So we're going to have a nice 90-degree bend. See? 90 degrees. Now, if you really want to, if you want to double check yourself, I use this little machinist square. See, that looks a little off square, so you just keep going, push it a little past. Here we go. Now we can check it. Yeah, see, it could go a little bit more, couldn't it? Okay, no problem. Put it back in the bender. Give it a little bit more of a shove. Ooh, that looks just right. There you go. Got a nice 90-degree bend. Okay. Now that we have this 90-degree bend, this is going to be the front of our chassis. This is going to be the rear. So again, we've already determined that this pin will give us that almost 1 inch that we need. So now, one at each end, butt up against all the pins. So you're butted up against these and butted up against these. That will keep you in there. Place your bender back on and bring it on around. $90 degrees. There we go. Can you see that? And we like it because it's nice and flat now. We don't have a twist incorporated. It comes off the bender nice and straight. So now we're going to take all of our parts and we are going to create our chassis with these. So now we need to swap out the bender for our chassis jig. All right, so we have our soldering jig and all of our parts. We want to pin this out dead square and dead center. So if you haven't already done this to your chassis jig, you really should put a center line. Use a square, get it right down the middle, front to back. Even if you don't want to do like I did and actually carve a slot in there, you can use a pencil and put that in. And same thing for where the axle is going to be. You want your axle to be straight, so let's put a line across where the axle is going to go as well. That way it's real easy to line this up. You know, now you got it. You can put it dead square down the middle, and where the axle goes, then you just got to pin it. And there it is. It's centered, squared. It's not going anywhere. The same for your guide tongue. You got it. You know where the center is, so now you can get that guide tongue exactly where it's got to go. Right there. That's it. Right down the middle. And then you take your, well, this isn't going to work right this minute. See, I got ahead of myself. Take your wire that you just made, trim it to length, and I want it right to the edge of this guide tongue here at the front. So I trimmed the wires to match that, and that's where it's going to go. And now you pin the rear end with the wire in it so that nothing moves. And you're centered. And now you just go back and pin everything together tightly so that it does not move. And you are now ready to solder. You have a nice straight chassis, no flex, no twist. You're ready to go. All that's left is flux, solder, and then your basic chassis will be done. Next step is to set the wheelbase, and we'll show you how to do that in another video. Basic chassis, ready to solder. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I will do another video next to show what to do, how to make our axle holder and all the other attachments that go on the chassis. So let me know if you got any questions, and we'll see you in the next one.